In this podcast episode, Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a prominent author and activist, discusses the growing threat of radical Islam in Western Europe and the United States. She reflects on the changes that have occurred since the aftermath of 9/11 and expresses her concerns about the current state of affairs. She highlights the rise of radical political Islam and the failure of Western leaders to effectively address this issue. Hirsi Ali emphasizes that the threat of radical political Islam is more significant today than it was in 2001. Despite trillions of dollars spent and lives lost in the fight against terrorism, the ideology of radical Islamists continues to spread. She points out the insidious nature of Islamist groups that aim to establish an Islamic state based on Sharia law through nonviolent means. She criticizes the multiculturalist approach adopted by Western societies, which she believes has allowed radical Islamists to thrive. Hirsi Ali discusses the challenges of integrating and assimilating Muslim immigrants, as well as the failure to address the indoctrination of youth in Islamist ideologies. She highlights the case of Shamima Begum, a young woman who left the UK to join ISIS, as an example of the consequences of radicalization. The conversation delves into the reluctance of Western societies to confront the problem of radical Islam. Hirsi Ali points out the self-hatred and atonement mentality that inhibits effective action against Islamist extremism. She discusses the need to understand and acknowledge the totalitarian nature of radical political Islam and the dangers it poses to Western values and freedoms. Hirsi Ali identifies three key threats to the West: great power authoritarianism, radical Islamism, and woke ideology. She warns that time is running out, particularly in Europe, where demographic shifts and the rise of extremist groups pose a significant challenge. She expresses concern about the potential for chaos and violence if radical Islamists and far-right extremists clash in European societies. The podcast also touches on the issue of dealing with radical Islam without resorting to authoritarian measures. Hirsi Ali emphasizes the importance of addressing the root causes of radicalization and holding accountable those who propagate extremist ideologies. She warns against the dangers of allowing parallel societies to form within Western countries and calls for a proactive approach to counter radical Islamist influences. Hirsi Ali suggests that open societies are at risk of subversion but have the ability to learn from mistakes. She calls for a reevaluation of how seditious ideologies like radical political Islam are defined and dealt with. She also advocates for a review of international treaties and conventions related to asylum and human rights to adapt to the current reality. The discussion moves on to the role of religion in society, with Hirsi Ali acknowledging the importance of spirituality and community that religions like Christianity provide. She reflects on her personal journey of finding faith in God after experiencing depression and spiritual bankruptcy. She emphasizes the wisdom and values that religions offer, contrasting them with the nihilistic aspects of atheism and the rise of ideologies like wokeness. Hirsi Ali acknowledges the challenges faced by the younger generation, including mental health issues, addiction, and a lack of purpose. She highlights the role of religion in providing meaning and guidance, especially in times of crisis. She also touches on the need for moral leadership and compassion in addressing these issues. Hirsi Ali expresses concern about the rise of wokeness as a harmful religion and the need to reassert the values of Western civilization. She encourages young people to explore different perspectives and engage with scholars like Richard Dawkins and Tom Holland to deepen their understanding.